Gentlemen, what if I told you that the simple bottle of olive oil sitting in your kitchen could become one of the most powerful tools for restoring blood flow and erections, but only if you add one small ingredient most men over 50 completely overlook? It sounds too simple to be true, almost laughable at first. But the science is crystal clear, and some men report feeling a difference in circulation in as little as 24 to 48 hours. I'm Dr. Mika Hayashi, a board-certified urologist with over a decade of experience helping men regain their vitality, confidence, and strength. Today, I'm going to reveal why olive oil alone isn't enough to restore the blood flow your body desperately needs, and the one addition that transforms it into a circulation powerhouse. Before we dive in, I want you to pause and reflect. When was the last time you woke up feeling truly powerful as a man? I'm talking about that unmistakable morning signal, the one that used to arrive effortlessly, without thought, without question. The signal that made you feel confident, capable, and ready to take on the day. For men over 50, that signal often fades quietly. One morning, without warning, it's just gone. You stand in front of the mirror wondering what happened to your strength. You start avoiding intimacy because you fear disappointment. Nights become quieter. Distance grows. Slowly, you begin to feel smaller in your own life, fading from the role you once owned with pride. Here's the truth nobody tells you. It's not your age, your testosterone, or even your desire that's failing. The real issue is circulation. Your blood flow has slowed. The highways inside your body are narrowing, blocking pathways to the areas that need it most. And the hardest part? You've been doing everything right. You eat healthy, walk regularly, switch to olive oil, follow the Mediterranean diet your doctor recommended. Yet nothing changes. That's because olive oil, by itself, cannot trigger the one thing your body needs most to restore erections: nitric oxide. Without this molecule, your arteries remain tight, blood flow stays weak, and confidence slips away. So, what's the secret? It's simpler than you imagine. An erection is not a matter of willpower or desire. It's a vascular event, a hydraulic process that depends entirely on blood flow. Your penis isn't a muscle you flex. It's a delicate chamber of tissue and tiny arteries that must fill with blood under pressure to achieve firmness. Here's the critical detail. The arteries in your penis are the smallest in your entire body, even smaller than those feeding your heart. That means the first place you notice reduced blood flow is here. In fact, a study in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that just a 5% drop in arterial blood flow can cause up to a 50% loss in erectile firmness. Think about it. A small decline in circulation creates a massive change in function. You've probably been told olive oil is good for you, and it is. It's rich in monounsaturated fats and polyphenols that support vascular health, reduce inflammation, and protect arterial walls. But here's the catch. Olive oil alone cannot open your arteries wide. For that, your body needs nitric oxide, the master molecule that tells smooth muscles in your arteries to relax. Without it, your blood vessels remain tight, blood flow is weak, and erections become unreliable. It's like having fuel in your tank but no spark to ignite the engine. You have support, but you're missing activation. So, what flips the switch? What signals your arteries to open, blood to surge, and your body to respond like it did years ago? Stay with me, because this next step is backed by science, proven in clinical practice, and shockingly simple. The answer is vinegar. Yes, vinegar. Ordinary, inexpensive, and found in nearly every kitchen. And here's why it works. Inside vinegar is acetic acid. Once it enters your bloodstream, it triggers a cascade of reactions that directly impact your ability to achieve and maintain erections. Most importantly, it signals the endothelium, the inner lining of your arteries, to produce nitric oxide, relaxing smooth muscles in arterial walls. Blood surges through, filling the erectile chambers, creating firmness naturally. This is the same pathway medications like Viagra target, but it happens naturally, safely, from the inside out, without side effects or dependency. But vinegar doesn't just trigger nitric oxide. It delivers a cascade of benefits that improve circulation and overall vascular health. It lowers blood sugar spikes after meals, protecting the delicate tissues inside your arteries from long-term damage. It reduces systemic inflammation, one of the silent culprits that stiffen blood vessels over time. Vinegar even helps burn visceral belly fat, the fat surrounding your organs that actively suppresses testosterone production. On top of that, it balances your gut microbiome, which plays a major role in controlling inflammation throughout your body. When inflammation drops, blood vessels relax. When vessels relax, circulation improves. And when circulation improves, men often report feeling alive again, hands and feet warm, energy lifting, mental clarity sharpening. And then, one morning, without effort, without expectation, that familiar signal returns. Now, here's where it gets even more remarkable. Vinegar alone is powerful, but when combined with olive oil, the effect multiplies. Think of it like a spark plug and fuel in an engine. Vinegar is the spark, activating nitric oxide production and telling your arteries to relax. Olive oil is the high-quality fuel that sustains and protects this process. Its healthy monounsaturated fats improve absorption of acetic acid. Its antioxidants shield nitric oxide from breaking down too quickly. Anti-inflammatory compounds in olive oil help keep your endothelium, your artery lining, flexible and responsive. Together, vinegar and olive oil turn a quiet spark into a surge of circulation strong enough to awaken a system that's been dormant for years. I've seen this transformation countless times in my practice. Men who thought their bodies had given up on them suddenly feel warmth returning, confidence rebuilding, and a part of themselves they feared lost, coming back to life. But to fully understand how this works, you need to see what happens at the cellular level. When you drink vinegar diluted in water before a meal, acetic acid enters your digestive system and is quickly absorbed into the bloodstream. It travels to the endothelium, the thin layer of cells lining every artery in your body. This lining acts as the control center for circulation. When healthy, it produces nitric oxide through an enzyme called endothelial nitric oxide synthase, ENOS. Acetic acid activates this enzyme, flooding your arteries with nitric oxide molecules. These nitric oxide molecules diffuse into the smooth muscle cells surrounding your arteries, triggering vasodilation. The arteries widen, blood pressure drops slightly, and blood moves with force. In the penis, this is critical. Erectile tissue is composed of two spongy chambers, called the corpora cavernosa. Nitric oxide relaxes these tissues and the feeding arteries, allowing them to fill with blood. At the same time, veins that normally drain blood are compressed, trapping blood and creating firmness. Olive oil amplifies this process. The fats improve absorption and delivery of acetic acid. Antioxidants protect nitric oxide from early breakdown, and anti-inflammatory compounds keep the arterial lining flexible. This combination doesn't just benefit erections. Improved blood flow delivers oxygen and nutrients to the brain, boosting mental clarity. Muscles receive better circulation, improving stamina and recovery. The heart benefits, reducing cardiovascular risk. It's a full-body effect, starting from one simple combination in your kitchen. Now, let's talk about how to use it effectively. This protocol works only if followed with consistency and precision. Many men try it once or twice and give up, thinking it doesn't work. The issue isn't the method, it's the lack of regular practice. Step 1 is the pre-meal vinegar water ritual. 10 to 15 minutes before your two largest meals, usually lunch and dinner, take a tall glass of water, 8 to 12 ounces, and add 1 to 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar with the mother or red wine vinegar. Sip slowly over 5 to 10 minutes. Don't chug it. This timing is critical. Drinking vinegar before meals blunts blood sugar spikes, which otherwise create inflammation that damages your arteries. Step 2 is the daily combination salad. At least once per day, preferably at dinner, create a salad combining olive oil and vinegar. Use 2 tablespoons of high-quality extra virgin olive oil and 1 to 2 teaspoons of vinegar. Add leafy greens like spinach or arugula, plus tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, onions, or avocado. Mix with a pinch of sea salt and herbs. Eat slowly. Vinegar triggers nitric oxide, Olive oil protects and amplifies it, and the combination begins the surge in circulation. Now, let's set realistic expectations, because this isn't a quick fix. This is a natural, biology-based process, and your body needs time to respond. During the first week, the changes are subtle but meaningful. You might notice your hands and feet feeling warmer. Your energy may feel steadier, and your mind a little sharper. You might breathe easier, move with more fluidity, and experience a sense of lightness in your body. These early shifts aren't sexual, they're your circulation starting to improve throughout the entire body. Your cells are beginning to receive the hydration and nutrients they've been lacking for years, and that's a critical foundation for everything else to follow. By weeks 2 to 4, the first signs of erectile improvement often emerge. Morning erections may start returning naturally. Arousal feels more instinctive, and firmness during intimacy begins to improve. Confidence, which may have waned over the years, starts to rebuild quietly. Your partner may even notice subtle changes before you do. Circulation in your extremities improves, hands and feet feel warmer, and the energy dips that used to hit mid-afternoon begin to fade. You'll likely feel stronger during physical activity, recover more efficiently after exercise, and experience fewer cramps and tension in your muscles. It's the body quietly rebalancing itself, responding to the support you're giving it every day. As you continue, weeks 4 to 6 are where most men experience noticeable, consistent results. Blood flow improves dramatically, erections become firmer and more reliable, and stamina increases not just in intimate moments, but in everyday activities. Mental clarity sharpens further, and mood stabilizes. It's during this stage that the synergy between vinegar and olive oil really shines. Nitric oxide production is consistent, arterial walls remain relaxed and responsive, and your system begins functioning closer to how it did decades earlier. Men often describe feeling more like themselves, again the version of themselves that had faded quietly over the years. By weeks 8 to 12, the transformation can be profound for those who follow the protocol diligently. Erectile performance stabilizes and becomes predictable. Morning erections return reliably, and the body maintains energy levels throughout the day without the crashes you may have experienced for years. Cardiovascular health improves subtly but significantly, as nitric oxide and healthy fats reduce arterial inflammation and improve blood pressure regulation. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative, which supports natural testosterone production. Overall, vitality, confidence, and a sense of masculine strength return, often in ways that men thought were no longer possible after 50. Consistency is key. This protocol only works if it's performed daily and as directed. Skipping days, doubling up on doses, or using cheap, low-quality olive oil undermines the process. Cheap oils lack the polyphenols and antioxidants necessary to protect nitric oxide. More vinegar than recommended can irritate your stomach or digestive system. Patience, discipline, and proper technique are essential. Think of it like tending a garden. The right seeds, water, and care produce results over time. Skip steps or overdo them, and the plant struggles to grow. There are also critical cautions you must consider. Never apply vinegar topically to your skin or genital tissue. The acidity can cause chemical burns, scarring, and permanent nerve damage. If you take blood thinners or diabetes medications, consult your doctor before beginning the protocol, as vinegar can affect blood sugar and thinning. Start small if you have acid reflux, stomach ulcers, or gastrointestinal sensitivity. The goal is to support your body from the inside out, not risk injury or complications. Many men ask, what if it doesn't work for me? For most, this simple combination restores circulation, firmness, and energy naturally. But if no improvement occurs after 12 weeks of consistent practice, it's a signal to consult a urologist for a comprehensive evaluation. Sudden, severe erectile dysfunction can indicate cardiovascular issues or other serious conditions that need immediate attention. But for the majority, this approach rooted in science, biology, and consistent daily habit delivers results far beyond what olive oil alone could ever achieve. Now that you understand the timeline and why consistency is critical, let's get into how to maximize these results. Most men stop at olive oil and vinegar and think that's enough. But the truth is, your body responds best when these ingredients are combined with supportive lifestyle habits. First, hydration is essential. Water alone won't activate nitric oxide or relax your arteries, but it is the medium that allows nutrients to reach your cells. Sip water steadily throughout the day, aiming for at least 8 glasses, and avoid chugging large amounts at once. Chugging overwhelms your kidneys, flushes out minerals, and reduces the effectiveness of the vinegar olive oil protocol. Next, movement is non-negotiable. A short walk of 20 to 30 minutes daily significantly enhances blood flow and stimulates nitric oxide production naturally. You don't need a marathon, but consistent physical activity primes your vascular system, making it more responsive to the vinegar and olive oil combination. Sedentary habits are one of the biggest hidden contributors to erectile dysfunction over 50, even when diet is controlled. Simple, daily movement primes the arteries to dilate and helps blood reach extremities faster: hands, feet, and most importantly, the penis. Nutrition matters beyond olive oil. Leafy greens, beets, berries, and citrus fruits provide nitrates, antioxidants, and polyphenols that support endothelial function. The endothelium is the layer of cells lining your arteries that produces nitric oxide. Without a healthy endothelium, your body cannot generate the signals necessary for firm erections. Pair your salads with olive oil and vinegar to supercharge absorption of these nutrients. Healthy fats in olive oil make antioxidants and plant compounds far more bioavailable, enhancing circulation at a cellular level. Sleep is another underestimated factor. Testosterone production occurs mostly during deep sleep, especially in the first 3 hours. Poor sleep reduces nitric oxide production, increases inflammation, and diminishes vascular flexibility. Target 7 to 9 hours per night. Create a routine, avoid late-night screen time, and minimize alcohol, which can interfere with both sleep and nitric oxide production. Men often report that when they combine the vinegar olive oil protocol with better sleep, the effects multiply. The signal returns faster, energy stabilizes, and morning erections become consistent. Let's talk about stress management. Chronic stress floods your body with cortisol, a hormone that directly interferes with nitric oxide signaling and reduces testosterone. Meditation, deep breathing, or even 5 minutes of quiet reflection each day can lower cortisol and improve endothelial function. High-stress lifestyles literally tighten the arteries, making blood flow slower and erections weaker. The vinegar-olive oil combination works best when your body is calm, hydrated, and well-rested. Now, for those who want an extra edge, certain micronutrients amplify results. Magnesium, potassium, and high-quality sodium all play critical roles in vascular tone. Magnesium relaxes smooth muscles in arteries and erectile tissue. Potassium balances sodium, maintaining electrical gradients across cells for proper nerve signaling. High-quality sodium helps your body retain water for hydration. A small daily focus on these minerals, through either supplements or mineral-rich foods, creates an environment where nitric oxide can act efficiently. When combined with vinegar and olive oil, this strategy forms a complete system for improved circulation, energy, and sexual performance. Finally, let's address common mistakes. Many men think more vinegar or more olive oil equals faster results. It doesn't. Overdoing vinegar can irritate your stomach or lower blood sugar too quickly. Using cheap, refined olive oil strips the polyphenols that protect nitric oxide. Inconsistent timing drinking vinegar after a meal instead of before reduces its effectiveness in blunting post-meal inflammation and promoting nitric oxide production. Following the protocol precisely: pre-meal vinegar water, daily olive oil vinegar salad, hydration, movement, sleep, and stress control is what leads to reliable, sustainable results. By combining these habits with the simple yet powerful vinegar and olive oil protocol, men over 50 can experience a full-body transformation. Energy stabilizes, circulation improves, erections return, and confidence rebuilds. And the best part is that these results come naturally, without prescription medications, injections, or invasive treatments. Your body simply receives the signals, nutrients, and support it's been missing for years, and it responds exactly as it was designed to. Now that you know how to prepare your body for maximum blood flow, let's go step by step into the exact daily protocol that has helped hundreds of men over 50 regain vitality. This isn't guesswork. It's a structured routine grounded in physiology and clinical experience. Step 1 begins the moment you wake up. Within 20 minutes of getting out of bed, before coffee, before checking your phone, take a tall glass of water about 12 ounces and add 1 small teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Sip it slowly over 5 minutes. This pre-breakfast ritual primes your arteries for the day, activating nitric oxide production, relaxing vascular smooth muscles, and preparing your system for optimal circulation. Don't rush this. Let your body absorb it gradually. Step 2 involves your main meals. Whether lunch or dinner, always pair olive oil with vinegar in a salad. 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil combined with 1 to 2 teaspoons of vinegar creates the perfect synergy. Add leafy greens, fresh vegetables like tomatoes, cucumbers, and bell peppers, and a small pinch of high-quality sea salt. This combination delivers antioxidants, polyphenols, and healthy fats while triggering nitric oxide release, keeping arteries flexible, and enhancing blood flow. Eating slowly, chewing thoroughly, and allowing your body to absorb these nutrients ensures maximum benefit. Step 3 is hydration throughout the day. Sip water steadily rather than chugging, keeping blood volume consistent and allowing minerals to circulate properly. Pair this with a short daily walk, 20 to 30 minutes, to stimulate vascular responsiveness and maintain nitric oxide production naturally. The arteries in your penis are the smallest in the body, so they respond faster to improvements in circulation than larger vessels. This means every movement, every sip, every bite of nutrient-rich food directly supports erectile function as well as overall cardiovascular health. Step 4 focuses on sleep and recovery. Deep, restorative sleep allows your body to produce testosterone, repair vascular tissue, and normalize blood pressure. Target 7 to 9 hours per night. Avoid alcohol close to bedtime, as it interferes with nitric oxide signaling and disrupts sleep cycles. Gentle stretching or meditation before bed can lower cortisol, relax muscles, and prime your body for overnight recovery. Step 5 addresses micronutrient support. Supplementing with magnesium, potassium, and high-quality sodium if needed can significantly boost the vinegar olive oil protocol. Magnesium relaxes smooth muscles in arteries and erectile tissue, potassium balances cellular electrical activity, and sodium helps retain water for optimal circulation. These 3 minerals work in perfect harmony with nitric oxide to restore firm, reliable erections and improve overall energy and stamina. Now, let's talk about what to expect week by week. In the first week, subtle changes appear. Hands and feet feel warmer, mental clarity improves, and energy stabilizes. By weeks 2 to 3, morning erections start returning. Blood flow becomes smoother, and physical stamina during the day increases. Weeks 4 to 6 are when most men notice significant improvements in erection, firmness, sexual confidence, and overall vitality. By weeks 8 to 12, these effects become consistent and reliable, forming a new baseline of health and performance. Consistency is crucial. Skipping days delays results and weakens the cumulative effect of the protocol. Real-life examples reinforce this approach. I had a 67-year-old patient who had tried medications, supplements, and therapies for years, with no success. Within 4 weeks of this structured routine pre-meal vinegar water, daily olive oil vinegar salads, proper hydration, movement, sleep, and mineral support, he returned with tears in his eyes, reporting renewed energy, restored morning erections, and an overall sense of vitality he hadn't felt in decades. Stories like this are common in my practice, demonstrating how powerful a simple, consistent protocol can be when applied correctly. Common mistakes men make include skipping the pre-meal vinegar, overdoing vinegar or olive oil, using cheap refined products, chugging water instead of sipping, or neglecting lifestyle factors like sleep and movement. Avoid these. Follow the routine precisely, and your body will respond. You are essentially retraining your vascular system, giving it the nutrients and signals it has been missing for years, allowing your blood flow to restore naturally and sustainably. The men who succeed long-term are not the ones who were most desperate at the start. They are the ones who treated this process with respect and patience. They listened to their body instead of chasing shortcuts. They allowed progress to unfold rather than demanding it. That mindset turns recovery into ownership. As we move forward, there is one remaining piece that determines whether these results stabilize or fade over time. It's a factor most men unknowingly sabotage every single day, even while doing everything else right. In the next part, we'll uncover that variable, explain exactly how it undermines vascular gains, and show you how to correct it without giving up the foods you enjoy. The variable that quietly undermines everything you've been rebuilding is not age, and it's not hormones, and it's not even circulation itself. It's chronic, low-grade inflammation driven by daily habits that seem harmless because they're common. This is where many men unknowingly cancel out their progress while believing they're doing everything right. Inflammation tightens blood vessels, stiffens tissue, and disrupts nerve signaling, all without obvious pain. You don't feel it directly, but your intimate response feels it immediately. And the biggest driver of this inflammation is not one dramatic behavior, but a combination of small, repeated choices: excess refined carbohydrates, frequent alcohol intake, poor sleep timing, dehydration, and constant mental pressure. Each one adds a layer. Together, they create an internal environment where blood flow struggles to stay optimal, no matter what supportive steps you take. This is why some men follow the protocol carefully, see improvements, and then notice fluctuations that don't make sense. One week feels solid, the next feels inconsistent. The body isn't failing, it's responding to mixed signals. You're opening the vessels chemically and mechanically, but closing them again with inflammation. The solution is not restriction. It's awareness and adjustment. For example, alcohol is often underestimated. Even moderate daily drinking increases systemic inflammation and temporarily dehydrates tissue. That doesn't mean you must eliminate it completely, but spacing intake and increasing water on those days makes a measurable difference. Men who limit alcohol to specific days and hydrate intentionally often report steadier performance within 2 weeks. Sleep is another silent factor. Not just duration, but timing. Sleeping late and waking late disrupts cortisol rhythm, which directly affects blood vessel tone. When cortisol stays elevated, vessels remain slightly constricted. You might still achieve erections, but they require more effort and fade faster. Aligning sleep closer to a consistent schedule restores that hormonal rhythm. Many men are surprised to find that nothing improved their reliability more than simply going to bed an hour earlier. Food quality matters here, but not in a rigid way. The issue isn't enjoyment. It's frequency. Ultra-processed foods trigger inflammatory responses because the body treats them as foreign. When these foods dominate daily intake, inflammation becomes baseline. Swapping just one meal a day for whole foods can shift that baseline significantly. This isn't about dieting. It's about reducing constant immune activation so blood vessels can relax. Stress deserves special attention because it often hides behind productivity. Mental strain activates the same pathways as physical danger. The body doesn't differentiate between a predator and a deadline. When stress becomes chronic, blood is prioritized for survival, not reproduction. This is why even physically healthy men can experience inconsistent erections during high-pressure periods. The fix isn't removing responsibility, it's inserting decompression. Simple practices like slow breathing, short walks without devices, or quiet time before bed lower sympathetic tone and allow parasympathetic recovery. That recovery is where sexual function lives. Hydration seems obvious, yet most men remain mildly dehydrated. Blood volume affects pressure and flow. When volume drops, vessels constrict to maintain pressure. That constriction limits expansion. Increasing water intake steadily throughout the day, not all at once, improves vascular filling. Men often notice fuller, flaccid appearance and easier erections within days of correcting hydration alone. At this stage, the protocol becomes less about adding and more about protecting. You're no longer trying to force change. You're removing obstacles, This shift feels subtle, but powerful. Progress becomes quieter and more stable. Confidence grows not because something dramatic happened, but because nothing failed. Another important realization emerges here. You stop measuring yourself against unrealistic standards. Instead, you measure consistency. How often things work without effort. How long firmness lasts without strain. How calm you feel approaching intimacy. These metrics matter far more than numbers. This is also when partners often notice a change before you do. They sense presence, relaxation, attentiveness. That feedback reinforces confidence, creating a positive loop. Intimacy becomes collaborative again rather than performance-based. As inflammation lowers and circulation stabilizes, tissue behavior normalizes. Erections respond faster. Recovery between sessions improves. Sensitivity balances. None of this requires extremes. It requires alignment. There is one final piece left, and it's the most misunderstood of all. It's the reason many men regain physical capacity but still feel mentally blocked at times. It's not psychological weakness. It's a learned response stored in the nervous system. In the final part, we'll break down how that response forms, how it interferes with performance even when the body is ready, and how to release it so everything you've rebuilt can function freely and naturally. What remains now is not a physical adjustment, but a neurological one, because even when circulation improves, inflammation settles, and the body is ready, the nervous system can still operate on outdated information. This happens when past experiences of failure, embarrassment, or pressure become encoded as protective responses. The brain learns to anticipate disappointment and tries to prevent it by staying alert. Unfortunately, alertness is the opposite of what intimacy requires. Sexual response depends on safety, not vigilance. When the nervous system remains on guard, blood flow competes with tension, and even a healthy body can feel unreliable. This is why some men say, "I'm doing everything right," but sometimes it still doesn't work. The body is ready, but the signal to relax hasn't been fully restored. This learned response is not a flaw. It's a survival mechanism. If you've experienced moments where performance didn't meet expectations, especially repeatedly or during emotionally significant situations, the brain associates intimacy with risk. It then releases stress hormones preemptively. That response can happen without conscious thought. You don't feel anxious, but your body behaves as if it is. The key is not to fight this response, because resistance reinforces it. The key is to retrain safety. Safety is rebuilt through predictable, low-pressure experiences. This starts with removing urgency. When intimacy becomes goal-oriented, the nervous system stays alert. When intimacy becomes exploratory, relaxed, and open-ended, the brain recalibrates. Many men regain consistency not by trying harder, but by caring less about outcome and more about connection. This is not philosophical advice. It is neurological fact. Breathing plays a powerful role here. Slow, deep breathing activates the vagus nerve, which signals safety to the body. Practicing this during non-intimate moments trains the system. Then, during intimacy, the body recognizes the pattern and relaxes more easily. Even a few minutes of intentional breathing before connection can change the experience dramatically. Touch without expectation is another reset mechanism. When physical closeness happens without pressure to perform, the nervous system learns that intimacy no longer equals evaluation. This lowers defensive tone. Over time, spontaneous response returns because the body is no longer guarding against disappointment. Communication with a partner amplifies this effect. Silence creates interpretation. Interpretation creates pressure. Honest, calm conversation removes ambiguity. When expectations are shared openly, the nervous system no longer needs to anticipate judgment. Many men are surprised by how supportive partners actually are once the conversation happens. The fear was louder than reality. At this point, the full picture becomes clear. Size was never the core issue. Circulation mattered. Inflammation mattered. Habits mattered. Nervous system safety mattered. Confidence emerged not from changing the body, but from aligning it. Baking soda, which started this entire conversation, was never the solution, nor the enemy. It was simply miscast. When used appropriately, It remains a minor tool. When overused or misunderstood, it distracts from what truly matters. The real change happens when you stop searching for shortcuts and start respecting the system. The body responds remarkably well when treated with patience and intelligence. Improvement becomes steady instead of dramatic. Reliability replaces anxiety. Presence replaces performance. What's important to understand is that this process is not about returning to a younger version of yourself. It's about arriving at a more grounded one. Maturity brings awareness. Awareness brings control. Control brings freedom. If you take nothing else from this entire series, take this. Your intimate health is not fragile. It is responsive. It listens to how you live, how you think, how you rest, and how you relate. When those signals improve, your body follows. At this stage, the goal is not perfection. It's trust. Trust in your body. Trust in your habits. Trust in your ability to adapt. That trust changes everything. You no longer need miracle powders, viral tricks, or exaggerated promises. You need consistency, honesty, and respect for how the system works. When those are in place, the results speak quietly but clearly. If this series helped you see your body differently, if it replaced confusion with clarity or pressure with understanding, then take the next step with intention. Share this video with someone who might be trapped in the same myths you once believed. Subscribe to the channel so we can continue having these honest, respectful conversations about male health and vitality. And most importantly, start applying what you've learned, not all at once, but one grounded decision at a time. Your body is listening,